Be honest, Chad. If I fuck my shit up, you could be honest. I don't mind. All right. Listen, it's a nice day out. It's kind of warm, so we're gonna start heat stroke maxing. But we could do different types of stroke maxings. You could stroke it in different ways. Heat stroke, regular strokes. Dude, we're maxing everything. All right, we're maxing it all out. Axe maxing. Let me hold it right. We're gonna axe max it. Okay, whatever, man. Whatever. We're just maxing out all our stats because it's this shit's a video game. But listen, I want to get serious. I want to talk about some serious shit. I haven't seen you guys in a minute, so welcome back. Welcome back. It's been a minute. It's a nice and warm day, very sunny. Sound like fucking Trump right now. It's a nice and warm, very sunny day. But listen, serious shit. Trauma. Trauma. Traumatization. No drama. Trauma. Traumatizing events. That's what's up. Trauma is what makes you who you basically become. And I realized this after quite a bit of fucking trauma. And there's like levels to this shit. There's people out there that got fucking graped and touched, burlested. I apologize if that happened to you. But yo, you took that shit and you're still pushing through. You're doing better than most people would. I don't think most people would have handled all that. Sounds like a weird way for me to you know, try to help you get through this shit, but I'm not a therapist. That's not my fucking job. But yo, good job, man. You went through some shit and you're out here. You made it. But why are we talking about trauma? You guys ever realize how if you build muscle, you can't build muscle without traumatizing your muscles, without exerting some force into it. But that I've come to realize, and I used to think like that's the only type of trauma I ever want to feel when I'm fucking doing push-ups and pull-ups. But I realized that's very light trauma. That's very easy. It might be harder for some people, and this might be a subjective ass topic in the first place, but I think real trauma, it doesn't come from working out, you know, although that it does make you sore or whatever. That shit is it's very small. It doesn't last long. You can recover, and when you do recover, you feel better. You get bigger, stronger. But that's kind of what trauma should be, right? You like recover from it and you feel better. Although there's some instances and cases where people are too fucking traumatized and they don't really feel as great coming out of it. You know, I'm sure you guys have been through some fucked up crazy shit that set you guys straight, you know? Like that fucking beyond scared straight type of situation. The prisoner comes in, he's like, "Hey boy, you know what we do to guys like you in prison? We fucking we fucking take you down." And the kid's just scared. He's like, "Oh, please, I'm innocent. I'm tight. I'm virgin, man. I like the sound of that. This fucked up, man. And I don't even know, man. Fucking prison, that's got to be a different kind of trauma. That's a different kind of trauma, man. I don't know how many of you guys went to the old cell, but I've talked to guys who did, who have, and they they don't come out the same, man. Let me tell you that much. They don't come out the same. I'm still like contemplating what's worse, like guys who went to prison or guys who fucking had like insane fucking salvia trips, you know? Cuz bro, there's like guys who did this shit. They took the salvia and they were like a fucking elevator button for like a year, like a couple years or something like. So, imagine being a fucking elevator button for like 50 years and people just come in, walk in and they ding ding ding, they press you and you're just like you can't do anything. That I don't know how you come out of that like fully functional. Dude, I read about this case where this person was in a coma and she like lived like a whole life in that coma, raised like a family for like 50 years and then she woke up and that all disappeared. That shit fucks you up. See, that's trauma. That was a physical trauma that turned into a mental trauma. Yeah. But I seriously think you need to go through some crazy ass fucking shit like that. It doesn't feel good in the moment, I'll be honest. Like you probably feel like, like you'd rather be unalived, right? But once you make it out, like you sort of become like a little bit chill. I think. I would hope so. Depends on the trauma. See, guys who went to prison, that's a subjective experience. You could have been dropping soap for all I know. I mean, I hope you weren't, bro. You know, I hope you weren't. But holy shit, if you were dropping soap, man. Yeah, me personally, I would rather be unalived than have to go through some bullshit like that. But yo, man, you're if you went through that shit, man, like, and you're still surviving, bro. Like, dude, man, you are impressive for real. Like, props to you for real, man. But yeah, man, the trauma thing, dude. So when you're a kid, like, imagine I don't know, you guys might be goody two shoes. I don't fucking know, right? But when you're a kid, imagine like the first moment you got in trouble at school for some bullshit. You were probably fucking crying, weren't you? You were probably bawling your eyes out because the teacher's like, I'm gonna call your parents. I'm gonna tell them what you were up to. You were being a bad kid. You were being naughty, and you're just bawling like, oh, stop! Don't call my mom, please, please. That's like one of your earlier moments of getting traumatized, right? They're calling your mommy, but then you get through that shit and you realize, oh shit, detention's not so bad. Um, at one point, at one point, I started getting used to the detention. I would get detention for stupid things, like I don't know, not guessing the right word in French or whatever. Oh, how do you say this word in French? I don't know, detention. The fuck. But yeah, man, that's your earlier form of trauma. Maybe you're ethnic and maybe you got the belt because you failed a test or something. Who knows? You know? Boop. I don't know, man. That's life, though, man. That's fucked up. It's fucked up, but like that's life. And the only thing you could do is, um, you have to just keep. You have to just keep. You have to just go through it. It's weird. I'm telling you, it's weird. It's like because here's the thing: if you don't go through it, then who are you? Who do you become? Are you the same person? I mean, you might be the same person, but and you might not have deserved the shit that you went through. You know, but that experience itself, man, it becomes like a sort of like a, I don't want to say a piece of you, but it sort of kind of shapes you, shapes who you are, almost. Maybe. There's a man riding a horse on top of my hat. The fuck are we gonna do about it though, man? I just hope like that trauma shit. I hope there's like a fucking limit to it, you know? How many of you guys like believe in like law of attraction? Chat, help me out. You know, how many of you guys believe in that shit? Because if you do, that's the thing. It's like maybe the trauma comes in intervals, or maybe it just doesn't really end until your life is at its final breath, right? And maybe it's how you take it. Maybe you don't have to take it as seriously. But there's like certain shit that like you that's way more serious than way more. There's like moments where you're just like, oh fuck, like what am I doing right now? You know, like how traumatized are you? Is that a weird question to ask? How traumatized are you? It's like asking like, yo, what's your body count? It's like it's like asking, is that a traumatizing question? You start seeing flashbacks. You know how like these fucking Vietnam vets, they like they start. I shouldn't be laughing at this, but I, they're you know like those old guys. They're like, well, back in Nam, and then they wake up with like shell shock syndrome. Back in Nam, we were in the trenches, and there was this there was this voice on repeat, man. Kept hearing her voice, man. She told us, you know, that shit must have been traumatizing for sure. Dude, I saw this video. I don't know if it was real or fake, but it was like this. These two people were these people were like talking who has greater struggles, and one of them was this girl, and she's like, oh, her boyfriend just dumped her or something, and then some fucking like Vietnam vet, he comes up in his fucking wheelchair, and he's like, I saw my guys get hanged by their intestines or some shit like that. It's fucked up, and I'm not laughing at that situation. It's just the way he said that shit and the reaction of everybody there. he's like, have you ever heard someone trying to scream without no lungs? And everybody's just like, what the fuck? See, witnessing that shit is traumatizing. That guy is definitely way more traumatized um, than that girl whose boyfriend just dumped her. Right? But I mean, that guy seems to be doing pretty well for himself, or so I hope. I don't know these people, so. And I'm not laughing at anybody's trauma, man. Don't get this shit twisted, all right? It's just fucking it's just fucking curveballs. All right, I don't want you guys thinking I'm a piece of shit. That's not who I am. Back in Nam. It's just the way they said it, dude. It's just that's all it is. I'm sure it was a fucked up experience. And I'm the most anti-war person you've probably fucking seen on here. You know. But listen, whether whether you got fucking dumped, cheated on, suffered through war in Vietnam, or any other bullshit, if you're still here, man, congratulations, you fucking made it. You're here, right? You survived that shit. And I survived my own shit. We're all winners in a certain way. Excuse me. Let's just give ourselves like a pat on the fucking back. Yeah. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Dude, there's like moments where you're probably at home in your bed and you're like, "Yo, what the fuck am I doing?" You know, after you live some shit like that. And you probably feel like shit in these moments too, but you just can't like let it get the you just can't let it get to you, because if you do, you're gonna do some shit you might regret. You know, you have uh you have to control yourself. I'll be honest, man. I'm not perfect. Like, I've had some fucked up shit going on too. I'm human. I'm just like you guys. You know, we all have our fucking struggles, but you cannot lose sight of the bigger picture. In a way, we're all fucking Vietnam vets. In a way, maybe not specifically Vietnam, but like just we're all vets. Okay, we're all veterans to some fucking degree for going through some